Want to get yourself a free Narma, Anax, Uugo, and Mausoleum Mage? Well, today we're going to be checking out what my promo code actually offers, right? I do talk about this every single video. Today we're actually going to be reviewing how good these champions are and just checking out what you can get if you go ahead and use my promo code as a new account starter. It's actually quite great, so let's get into it. Before we go any further, please go ahead and check it out if you haven't done so. There's going to be allowing you to get massive bonuses whenever buying things in-game through Aptoide. You're going to be getting all the way up to 35% of your money back as a cashback when you do any purchase. As you can see right now, I've got about a 12-15% bonus so far. And then once you do get those bonuses, you're going to be able to use them, those cashbacks, those bonuses, to actually buy things for you straight up for free. Actually, you do use the bonus instead of your real money to get more things, right? So we'll talk more about this at the end of the video. For now, let's keep going. So let's start off with Narma, who is going to be the first champion you get if you use my promo code, the free legendary starter. She does have the following in-game reviews, which do look a little bit terrible, I'm not going to lie, but she does have a decent use in the Demon Lord. She's given a score of 3 in Hell Hades, and her top review is literally, or the top score is for the Demon Lord, in fact, just like in-game, right? So let's check out what she actually does. She's a support of the Knight's Revenant, and she does have an A1 that's the following: attack one enemy, 40% chance of increasing the duration of 3 random debuffs on the target by 1 turn. I think that's straight up why you do want her in literally any boss, specifically the Demon Lord, right? Because, well, literally you can see the reviews, they're not the greatest, but if you're going to be extending the debuffs, the pressure of keeping those debuffs up is going to be a lot lesser. I don't know where you would really get the most value out of this, but that's just the A1. Let's keep on going. Attack one enemy, 75% chance, which can go all the way up to 100, of placing a 50% decrease attack debuff, right? So that's kind of why you want her for the Demon Lord. The decrease attack debuff is kind of like a must for the Demon Lord, especially because of all the damage you're going to be getting from him, and if you're able to reduce that, you can go further and further in it. Now, also heals all allies by 50% of this champion's max HP. The heal is going to be increased by 2% for each poison debuff on the target, which I'm not sure if she's going to be applying any poisons, but let's find out. Attack one enemy, 75% chance of placing 3 5% poison debuffs and a 25% poison sensitivity debuff, which can go to 100% chance of applying all those 3 poisons. Why does she have bad reviews? I do not get it. You can poison so much with her that's actually a decent amount of poison damage, right? It's the big version of the poison, if I'm not mistaken, and then she's also going to be doing a lot of healing through it, as well as also just healing, what is it, like healing herself and healing everybody else, and then literally doing the decreased attack debuff, which you can also increase the poison duration, so you can stack up those poisons quite easily, in fact, so they can just keep on going and going and going. I don't know, she does sound like quite a good champion for the sake of the Demon Lord, that's at least especially for that one. And then she has the accuracy buff or aura here, 80 accuracy actually. Of course, she's a legendary champion, so you could get the big version of it. I don't know, I don't think she obviously does the job of being a poisoner. She should definitely have some better ratings for the dragon in particular. I would think any poisoner is definitely great in the dragon lair. And then she also does have a decent review on the Iron Twins, at least in Hell Hades. She is definitely powerful. I don't know what those reviews are. People do hate on her, but she's actually powerful. Moving on to the second champion in my promo code is going to be Anax, who is an epic from the Undead Horse, an attack champion with a 3.5 review on Hell Hades. Now, let's see what it's all about, right? So we have the in-game reviews over here, and as you can see, they are quite different from what we just saw. 4.9 on the Demon Lord. Let's see what he's all about. He's also big on the Dragon's Lair, so I am thinking he's probably going to be a poisoner from these ratings. That's why I really thought that the previous champion Narma would be a lot higher in here, because poisoners are kind of required in those 2 champions, or rather, those 2 dungeons in particular. Okay, let's go ahead and find out. Attack one enemy 2 times. Each hit has a 30% chance, not the highest, of placing a 60% decreased defense debuff for 2 turns. So with Narma and this guy, you would already have both big debuffs covered, decreased attack and decreased defense. You would just need still increased attack on your allies, and then anything else would be nice, like weakens and strength things and all that good stuff. Debuff chance can be increased all the way up to 35%. Not the greatest, but it's a double attack, right? So you're going to be getting it anyways, and if you do have the Narma, it's going to be extended duration of that debuff as well. Now, attack one enemy 2 times here on the A2. 75% chance of placing a 50% decreased debuff and a 5% poison for 3 turns, which can be increased to 100% chance, right? Decreased accuracy debuff, not bad for sure. I mean, maybe not in the Demon Lord, but anywhere else you would want that if there's any debuffs going on for sure. So that's quite great. Another poisoner for sure, that's why it is over there. It's only 1 poison, but it is 3 turns and it's each hit, right? So you can have 2 poisons applied for 3 turns, and you can extend that with Narma as well, right? So a lot of interactions over here. It can go down to 3 turn cooldown. It's going to be happening quite regularly. You can keep this up literally 100% of the time, right? So you can have decreased accuracy literally always up if you are leveling this up, and always some poisons up if this is leveled up, right? Because it's going to go down to 3 turn cooldown, and the debuff lasts for 3 turns. Okay, let's go. Next up, attack one enemy, 75% chance of placing a 25% weaken. There we go, another debuff that I just talked about. You do want that weaken applied as well, so the enemy takes more damage. There we go, it can also scale up to 100% chance, 3 turn cooldown, 1 fully leveled up. Heals this champion by 50% of the damage inflicted, so he also does have quite survivability in his kit. It's only going to be from this one attack, right? So it has to be a big hit, because otherwise, if he was healing from the poisons, that would be insane. But it's only a little bit of healing from this attack. The special thing about it is, of course, applying the weaken to the boss, so it does take a little bit more damage. Quite great, in fact, so far. Next up, the passive. Places a 60% increased defense buff on this champion for 2 turns. So we had the decreased defense on the enemy, and then we have the increased defense on himself once he drops below 75%. Okay, 75% HP. Then places a 50% increased attack buff on this champion for 2 turns when their HP drops below 50%. And then the active effect is the following: gain an extra turn when this champion drops below 10%. So yeah, you might have an interaction where he does get the extra turn, he heals a little bit back up from the A3, he does apply these debuffs sometimes during the fight. Not sure if it can happen multiple times, right, as you are going up and down on HP. Ideally, they would, right? So I'm thinking you're going to be healing up over the 75% threshold, and then coming back down, and then it's going to be triggering the increased defense, and eventually the increased attack. So decent passive for sure. It's a long cooldown though, right? So you cannot have it happen all the time, but it's alright. He's actually quite powerful. I do like him for sure. Next up, we have the third champion you're getting from my promo code at level 20. Once you do hit it, you're going to be getting it for free, and it is good old Uugo, a support from the Ogryn tribes. Look at those reviews in-game, man. He is all the way up there on the Hydra arena. He's seen in arena so often. In Hell Hades, he does have a rating of 4, which is kind of one of the highest so far, at least the highest so far. He has his max rating on Hydra, Spider, Dragon, and Ice Golem. He does have a 5 on Hydra in Hell Hades, man. You do want this guy. He's literally everywhere right now. So, what does he do? Attack one champion and then places a leech sometimes. Low chance of applying it, but it is right there. The chance is increased by 5% from each ally alive, so you can have it all the way up to whatever it is. It's going to be a decent chance, man. Leech debuffs are quite great in long-term fights, especially because you're going to be getting so much value out of just randomly healing through damaging the enemy. Then we do have an attack all enemies with a 75% chance of applying a decreased defense debuff, so we have 2 of those already. And then it's going to be up to 100% chance for sure when that's leveled up. Also a 50% chance of placing block buffs debuff for 2 turns. So that is screaming already, that's straight up screaming PvP, that's why he's seen so much in PvP. And then the chance of placing the blocks buffs debuff is increased by 5% for each enemy, each alive enemy. This one was each alive enemy as well, right? So there we go. We can increase this all the way up to 75% chance, and if there is 4 enemies, well, that is going to be a 95% chance. It's not 100%, but that block debuffs, or rather block buffs debuff, is nasty in arena. It is nasty. So he's actually quite an aggressive support so far with the leech, as well as all those block buffs, decreased defense. Is going to be allowing you to nuke the enemy. And the special thing from him is the following: removes all heal reduction debuffs from all allies, then removes 1 random debuff from all allies. So he's going to be cleansing and then healing all allies by 20% of all champions max HP. If all allies are dead, revives them with 50% HP, and then filters turn meter by 50%. So he does have a revive all allies. You want this guy to be beefy, you want him to be in the fight the last, so he's able to get all the revives going on, and then he's going to be cleansing everybody else when this is not actually, when he's not doing the revive, he's going to be doing the cleanse, right? Cleansing debuffs is actually insanely important in all avenues of the game, and then if it's not going to be doing any of that, no revives, no cleanses, he's just going to be doing a little bit of healing, right? So you want to be having this guy be beefy so the heal is big, and also straight up just defensive, because you want this to be the last guy standing over there so he's able to revive everybody else. And finally, his passive is the following: places a 30% increased speed buff and a block damage buff on this champion for 1 turn whenever this champion's last living ally is skilled. That is why he's going to be so damn likely to be the last guy standing, so he's able to actually get the revive off, because he's going to be speedier, as well as being able to block damage, so literally immune unless the buff is removed, which could happen. But anyways, he is great in Arena, he's great in Hydra, he's great in so many other avenues. an insane champion to have. And last but not least, we have Mausoleum Mage. You're going to be getting him for free from my promo code once your account hits level 30. He is a champion that I just recently got from the last rolling video that we did on the summoning spree. We have him stacked up. He's a support from the Undead Hordes. He has quite some good reviews over here, as you can see. Dragon Slayer all the way up there, quite good in arena as well. Demon Lord all the way up there. Chimera, also very endgame heavy dungeon. We have a rating of 4 on Hell Hades, and he is especially good apparently in Hell Hades in literally pretty much every dungeon. Spider, Fire Knight, Dragon, Ice Golem. He's kind of like a mid-game guy you would definitely want in your team, right? So let's go ahead and check him out. Attack one enemy, 30% chance of placing a 30% decreased speed debuff for 2 turns. We haven't really seen a decreased speed debuff since, or rather yet, on the other champions we have checked out on this promo code, so having this debuff is actually quite important. We have not seen any turn meter control champions that decrease speed kind of does the job a little bit. You would want somebody else in your team, but he is quite a necessary debuff, or rather, he brings quite a necessary debuff for the whole setup, right? So definitely a must-want. Places a 30% increased crit rate buff and a 60% increased defense on all allies for 2 turns, and also places a block debuff buffs on all allies for 2 turns. That is quite a mouthful. He does bring a lot of buffs on this one single ability. 3-turn cooldown, very easy to level up, in fact, only 1 level. 30% increased crit rate, a lot of damage. 60% increased defense, a lot of survivability. The blocks debuff buffs, that's probably why he's great in arena standalone. Like, block debuffs buffs is always insane. It's gonna be allowing yourself to survive at least the first couple turns, which usually that's just how long the fight lasts in arena, right? So, yep, insane A2, brings a lot of buffs, and then brings an extra debuff over here, right? So, doing quite a great job so far. And then finally, the A3 is the following. Removes all debuffs from all allies, then heals all allies by 10% of this champion's max HP. Then heals each ally by a further 10% if 1 or more debuffs are removed from that ally. Then fills each ally's turn meter by 15% if 2 or more debuffs are removed from that ally. So he's a cleanser, he protects your allies from debuffs, and then he also applies some debuffs and buffs your allies. So he's definitely a support. As you can see, you want a lot of accuracy on him, you want a lot of speed on him, you want him to survive. He's not going to be doing pretty much any damage, even though he's scaling off of attack, but straight out you just want him to be there, doing a lot of cleansing, doing a lot of healing, turn meter filling, debuff removing. He's a massive support for mainly PvP, I would say, but yeah, Faction Wars makes sense. Dragon Slayer, I mean, I guess you want some cleanses on there, as well as that debuff protection for avoiding the stun of the dragon, so he does make sense to me in those scenarios as well. Overall, he's a great champion. As you can see, he also has some decent ratings on some of the potion keeps. Ice Golem as well, you do want some protection from those freeze debuffs on the Ice Golem. Yep, definitely a great addition to your team if you're going to be using my promo code. And that is it, guys. Let me know what you think about my promo code, if these champions are worth your time and getting this promo code used in your brand new account. Before you go, please go ahead and check out Aptoide. As we already mentioned, you're going to be able to get massive bonuses whenever buying things in Raid Shadow Legends when you download the game through Aptoide. You're going to be able to get an extra 10% cashback, as well as all the way up to a 35% cashback whenever you are fully boosted up, fully accumulated all the bonuses. And as you can see right here, you're going to be getting that in the form of the Aptoide credits, which once you do have enough of, you're going to be able to go ahead and use those instead of your actual money to buy things for you. It's actually called the Aptoide balance nowadays. Anyways, you buy things basically literally for free. You use the extra bonuses, you buy the things, and you just get more for your money. It's extra value for your money, really easy to set up. If you're going to be doing it, you can go ahead and check out the link down there in the description. It's going to be very easy to set up Aptoide in your Android devices, like a BlueStacks emulator on your PC or your Android phone. Does that not work on iOS, so no iPhones, unfortunately. And if you want to go ahead and use my promo code, which is going to be somewhere here up in the screen, as well as down in the description, it's going to be allowing you to get an extra 5% bonus from the get-go, just so you can start earning even more money right away on those sweet bonuses. Just put that into the Aptoide wallet and you are good to go, right? Hopefully you enjoyed the video, guys. Let me know what you think about the whole thing, promo code and stuff, and any questions down below in the comment section, please. And that's it. I'll see you on the next video. Bye-bye. Like, subscribe, and that's it. Bye-bye. See you!